Hey guys, this is Colin from CC Mega Productions, and I'm going to be giving you a breakdown, a VFX breakdown slash BTS of our newest video, Mario meets Angry Birds in real life. So for the video, we shot it on the Canon T2i with our kit lens, the 24mm f1.4, which is not ours, and we just borrowed it, and the 50mm f1.8, which I'm talking to right now. And we also used 3 programs. We used Sony Vegas for editing, we used After Effects for compositing, and we used 3ds Max for the 3D physics simulations and 3D work. And we also used Autodesk Match Mover for the 3D match moving to match all the motion tracking for the 3D stuff. So today I'm just going to kind of give you a brief overview on my workflow between Sony Vegas, After Effects, 3ds Max, and how I kind of use all those programs to get the desired effect I want. And that was actually the fun part about this video that I made, is I didn't know how to use 3ds Max. I had worked with it before, I didn't understand texturing, I didn't understand physics, and I didn't understand how I was going to put the 3D images on the live footage in After Effects and get them to work, because I didn't understand how PNG files worked, and I didn't understand how really anything worked. So if you're a beginner, I'm going to probably help you out a little bit here, and I can make a couple tutorials if you guys want me to. I still have a couple to make, like a slow motion muzzle flash and Minecraft 3D tracking, so be on the lookout for that. So let's go ahead and jump into After Effects. So in After Effects, what I did is, first of all, I got a rough cut of everything in Sony Vegas, and I rendered it out. Not a rough cut, it was a pretty final cut. And I imported it into After Effects and made it all into a bunch of compositions here. This is all the footage just cut into little pieces into their own compositions, so I can work a little bit more efficiently. So what I would do for this shot, for example, let's do actually the third shot, is I would go to my footage, I would set the in and out points for the composition, so that I would render out a JPEG sequence so that Match Mover can handle it, and I would then import that into Match Mover, which there's a really good tutorial out there. I'll put a link to it because I don't think I'm going to make one. And so basically I would render out a JPEG sequence. I would then save the Max script, which is the file you save out of Match Mover, and then you import it into 3ds Max by going Max Script, Run Script, and then you go to where your script is, and then you just click it and open it, and it'll give you a camera that goes throughout your scene and will match your motion with how the camera should have moved. And for the 3D physics simulations, for example here, I'll get out the camera's point of view. For the physics simulations, what we would do, on this shot right here, where I have an After Effects, let me see where I have this. So for this shot right here, for example, after I'd rendered it out and motion tracked it, what I would do is I would go into 3ds Max and set up a physics simulation. So to do that, after I modeled what I had, which is a couple rocks, a pig, a couple pigs down here, is I would go into the modifier panel and add a Mass Effects R body to the ball, and then I set it to start the simulation at 20 frames, the 20th frame, and I'd make the ball had to be a kinematic object, the rocks were kinematic objects, and the pigs were kinematic objects. Actually, no, all these were dynamic objects. This was kinematic, and all the rest is static except for this pig, because it was going to get reacted with. So I knew that I wanted it to hit the pig, so all I did was mess with the simulation a bunch, unbake it and rebake it until the ball hit correctly in the point where I wanted it to. So yeah, I'm probably going to start showing you some BTS footage. I'm not sure. This is my first kind of VFX breakdown, and it's probably going a little sketchy, but you know, it's okay. So after I did that, I would render it. I'd go to the render setup, set the frames I wanted it rendered to, so 0 through 51 or 0 through 80 or whatever you want to. And you'd go to File, choose, like if you want it here, and you want to go down to here and click PNG so you have alpha channels so you can re-put it back in After Effects. So basically, you'd render that out. I'm not going to do it because I already have it. And then you import it into After Effects. So you import your file. I'll try to find this quick. So you do that, and then for your, I have it in here, parts. So you'd import one of the files and make sure PNG sequence is there, and you click open, and then you interpret, right-click, interpret footage, main, and then you type this your frame rate, or else it'll be kind of unmotion tracked, and my frame rate was 23.976. And then I would put that on top, and I would have my layers. So one of the most important parts in 3D rendering is setting up 3 passes, and I'll put a tutorial on how to do this. It's made by So Crispy Media, and it really helped me understand rendering in 3ds Max. So there's 3 passes. You want a shadow pass, your regular object pass, and then an ambient occlusion pass. And the ambient occlusion is really what I found to be the most important out of all of them, just because it really adds the realism. I'll show you a before and after of the ambient occlusion. As you can see, this is my ambient occlusion right here, and look at the pig, look at the detail in the pigs. The ambient occlusion is really just the contact shadow, but look in the lines of everything, and you can really see the difference in how much better it makes it look when you add the ambient occlusion. So, if you have any specific questions, I know that was really brief and quick, but if you have any specific questions on 3ds Max to After Effects, comment down below and I'll try to help you as much as possible. So for the 2D bird throwing effect, what we did is we would motion track the shot with a null object, and then we would parent a fireball from Action Essentials to the red bird, which is parented to the null object. So we would then apply motion blur, which takes longer to render but makes it look better, and added some glow for some nice effect. So if you're trying to get into visual effects and you're not really sure where to start, I would really try to just start with some basic tests, because you're not going to get anywhere unless you just practice, practice, practice. That's what it's all about. Because before this, I had no idea how to use 3ds Max. I was originally going to have all that stuff that you saw in the video be 2D, which I feel like would have been not very good. It would have been a lot worse. And it's really just about your desire in what you want to do. Because if you really, really, really want to do VFX and be good at VFX, you have to work at it. It's not just going to magically, you're not just magically going to be like, oh, I'm going to open After Effects and motion track this and do everything else. It's really, if you have a desire to do visual effects, you really have to just test out everything you want to do before you do it. So on my second channel, I guess you're on it right now, I put out a Minecraft 3D tracking test. And we have a Minecraft video coming, but it's really important to, how do I say this? To just to do tests before you do it to make sure you can do the effects, so you don't get in post and you're like, oh crap, I shot this wrong. I shot this with shutter speed of 40, and if I would have shot it like that, then I wouldn't have been able to motion track because the data would have been incorrect. So it's really about your desire and how much you really, really want, how much you want it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this BTS. It was kind of sketch because my first kind of breakdown, and I really didn't know what to do. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any specific questions, again, I went really fast over some of the stuff. Just comment down below and I will answer your questions, I guarantee. All right. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.